Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CJ's Coins and Crafts. This is a great review of the last two boxes that I was able to get from a single branch closest to where I live. I ended up getting a box of nickels and a box of pennies. I got these on Friday, so these are fresh from the bank. Um, these both these boxes are really good, and my nickels just they just do not disappoint. I may have been skunked in the past recently, but it's boxes like this that completely make up for it. So let's get into it and see what we got. So for the foreigns, I only got one, and it was a 1982 Canadian. That's this one right here. Um, he's pretty messed up. Um, it's a lot of wear, a lot of wear and tear on it. So, but that's 1982, which is cool. In the 50s, 50 Philadelphia, which is this one right here. I was really hoping that when I got this 50, that I was going to be able to find a D mint mark right over here. Which, if you guys don't know, 1950 Denver, in the Jefferson Nichols a key date, or semi key date. So I was really hoping that this one was going to be a good one because this 50 is actually not a bad shape for being a 1950, but it is Philadelphia. So I'll put that back there. Whoops. So I got the 50 Philadelphia, then 52 Philadelphia. 50 Philadelphia, 52 Philadelphia, two 1952 S's, a 56D, 57D, two 58Ds, and a 59D. So that's a pretty good mix of the years in the 50s, which is about normal compared to what I normally get. In the 40s, I got kind of heavy on the 40s. 40 Philadelphia, 40 240 Denver's, a 41P, Philadelphia 41S, 46S, 47P, D, and S. I ended up getting one from each of the mints for 1947, two 1949 Ds, and a 49S. So if you guys can't see, this is the 1940s that were pulled out of this box, minus two that we'll get to here in just a little bit. And these are the 1950s. So I have almost probably at least a half a roll of just 40s and 50s from this box. So this is consistent with what I would normally get from these boxes. The 1930s, I found two 39Ps, which is these two right here. So it's still, you can still find these things in circulation. And this is only the second year that the Jefferson nickel was minted. So just the fact that you can still find two of these in a box is just it's really really awesome. Okay, now we get to some of the good stuff. Buffaloes, as consistent with the boxes that I get. I have always gotten at least one of three different types of nickels: Buffaloes, 2009s, or Civil War nickels. So in this box, I got lucky and I got two Buffalo nickels. So both of them have the dates that are really worn out. Um, the reverses, they are Philadelphia's. They do not have mint marks. This is the new style, so I know this is post 1913. This is not the 1935 or 1936s that have either the possibility of, well, these could possibly be regular versions, but I can tell you that they are not the reverse double dies, or the three-legged or three-and-a-half-legged buffaloes. So I wasn't lucky enough to get one of those, but these are still super cool to find because they've been in circulation for, what is that, about 80, 90 years. So let's look at some of the other ones that I wrote down. So I have this one right here. I wrote annealed as far as the notes. I've heard of the term Black Beauty. I don't know much about it, but I'll compare what a good circulated Jefferson nickel is compared to this particular one. Put it in my hand here so you guys can see. So this one on the left is a 1940, and this one on the right is a 1994. So you guys can see the color, just like the difference in the overall sheen and everything to it. Like there is still a little bit of like I'm sure that it's probably something environmental that changed, but it's the entire coin is the same, like dark colored dark colored metal that I thought that was really interesting. In person, this looks very like a super dark brown or a black or light colored black. Definitely not one of these um, shinier coins. So I thought that was kind of cool. And again, that's a 1940. Um, and then this one right here. So this is a 1949. And what was cool about this particular one is if I rotate it in the light, I don't know if you guys can see. You can see it here, and it wraps around up here and across here. This is a die clash that's embedded in this design. So they obviously haven't cleaned it out of the clash die yet. So I happen to see this one. Let's see if I can try to get my stick right here. See if I can help you guys out. So I happen to be looking at this just about like this. And what you're going to see is that you're going to see this line that comes down here and Jefferson's head. And then the bottom part of his neck is going to be right here. Let's see if I can get a good... Yeah, my lighting is terrible, I know. You can kind of see it. So you're going to have neck here, and then you'll see his bust come around all the way down here. So I thought that was a really cool find to find a circulation, especially a die clash that severe, just like the penny from my last video. It's just one of those that you notice something's off about it, and it's not until you look at it a couple of times, you turn around, you look at it in the light, and then it peeks out at you. So that is what we got in the nickels. I got some other ones that I thought was really interesting, like some of these 1960s. This is a 1960 Philadelphia, and it's in really good condition. Comparative to what I would normally find in the 60s, so I kept that one. So let's take a look at some pennies. So in the pennies in the Canadian 1967, which is the bicentennial for that one. It's this bird one right here. Or it's got 1867 and 1967 on it right there. That one right there. 1971, 1978, 1987, and then the 50s, not a whole lot. 57D, 58D, and 259Ds. In the 40s, a 44S. In the 30s, a 36 Philadelphia, and I checked this one for doubling. There is no doubling on this particular one, which is actually my last video. I got a 1936 Philadelphia, and there was no doubling on that one. I don't normally find a 36 in any mint, so to find back-to-back 36s, I'm pretty stoked. Then in the 20s, I found a 27 Philadelphia. So this is the 44S. There's that one there. Here is the 36. This one you can kind of see a little bit of woody tone to it. It's in pretty good shape. And then I'm throwing it. 1927. So what I was kind of surprised about is that some of these dates, even though the backs are kind of worn, the dates are really strong. So special ones. So the special ones. The first one we're gonna look at is a 2013 Philadelphia Ddos. As soon as I looked at this one, I look at all of the Shield scents, the Philadelphia. I look for well, I glance at some of them, and this one I just happen to look at. So let's look at it in the scope, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So the reason why I think this is a 2013, possibly a 2013 DDO, is I lost my stick. Here it is because on the two, it gets thinner right here, and it's got this bulge on the outside right here. But it's really the zero that looks offset. Instead of being a solid zero, you notice it's heavier up here and heavier on the bottom side. So I looked up 2013 DDOs, and it's pretty close. There's shading right underneath here of that would be similar to this, and then the one of the biggest giveaways is on the one. It's got this notching right down here, which is consistent with right here. So I'm pretty sure that I found a 2013 Philadelphia DDO. So as far as I believe this is Wexler's. I got it written down. Wexler's DDO 008. So that was a pretty cool find to find right off the top on the 2013. The next one is a 2000 Denver. I look at all of the 2000s, front and back, for double dyes and the white AMs. So then I found this one, which you can immediately see it's going to jump out on the screen. And there is a doubled column that goes from just about Lincoln's shoulder all the way down past his knees. So there's double column right here. I did take a look, and I didn't see anything that quite matched to that particular one, but I didn't look that hard, honestly. Because just like what I've said in other videos, late 1980s to early 2000s up to 2003, 2004, column doubling on both sides of this bay with Lincoln in it is actually pretty common, but they're still really neat to find. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. It's a double die, and that's why we like finding them. Okay, so now for the hardest one. So this one right here is really hard to see, and I'm gonna make this bigger to see if you guys can see it on the screen. So I always look at 1960s, any of the 1960s for RPMs. There seems to be a lot of RPMs in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, especially in the wheats. But what I noticed particularly about this one, and I think I know which one it is, but I'm not 100%. So if you guys happen to see it too, then just put a comment in the comment section below. But what I think this one is that there is a distortion right here. And what I think this is that this is actually the original mint mark punch of the D right here. and then this punch was done. So there's just a minor minor RPM right here. Wexler's does have an RPM that is attributed, like this one where there's a faint one. I didn't write down the number. And where the mint mark, the final strike mint mark is associated to where it's positioned between the 9 and the 6 and how low it sits, it's consistent with that mint mark. So I'm going to keep looking at it and see if I can get a better magnification or have some better lighting, and just see if I can catch it off, to see if I can confirm that if that was truly a mint mark. If that's truly a mint mark, then that is the lightest mint mark RPM that I have found. All of the other mint mark RPMs, repunch mint mark that I found usually has some kind of solid double strike underneath, above, or you can see in the split serifs on the corners. But that's still a really cool find for just looking at it, and I noticed there was something off about it. So that's the end of today's episode. I want to thank you guys for coming along and watching this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. I appreciate all the input and all the feedback that you guys give me. Please like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys on the next box.